This episode, we're talking about how to make the first day of your cruise, getting on the ship, they call it Embarkation Day,
Yay.
but I can't say it properly, a breeze, how to make it really easy. Plus, there's some great deals that are available right now, and we'll check the latest cruise and travel news and hear how much of a bonus Singapore Airlines cabin crew are getting this year. So, let's start the show.
It's time to get your cruise on.
This is Cruise and Travel with Paul McAllister.
Yep. Hi, I'm Steve, and with me is Paul McAllister, the chief dream cruise creator behind 101cruise.com.au. And this is our puppy dog, Roof. Roof, say hi. Yes. Just once would be good. Okay.
This is a podcast that takes you into the world of cruising and lets you in on the big cruising deals. You can find out more on our website, 101cruise.com.au, by signing up for our newsletter.
All right, so to kick off the episode, it's time for this noise.
Oh, that's me then.
Yeah.
What deals have we got this week?
I don't know. You've got them.
I have, and there's some good ones out there too. So let's have a look at Azamara Pursuit. It's a beautiful ship. We've been on this one, haven't we, Steve?
Yeah,
it's
quite
really
nice.
Cool. And I love it because it's departing on 27th of February 2026 from Singapore, and you're going to end up in Kobe in Japan.
Oh, so where do you go along the way?
Okay, so obviously we go out of Singapore to Ho Chi Minh City, then we go to Hue in Vietnam, Hong Kong, I'm going to say this one wrong, Okinawa. I think I did it right.
I think that's right.
I think that's pretty good. Japan, and then end up in Kobe. Now, a normal inside room would set you back $19,862.
How long is this?
Oh, sorry, I didn't tell you that. 14 nights.
14, okay.
It's a really good cruise.
Yep.
So an inside room would normally set you back US $19,862, but we have it on for everyone at $4,290. Now, you know the great thing about Azamara, they include your beverage package in there as well.
Oh, they do too.
They do. So this is actually, look, you might say, oh, that sounds expensive, but it's not bad when you consider all your beverages are included as well. So look, if you want to go up to a better room, like go to an Ocean View, I say, $22,742 is US, but at 101 Cruise, we have it on at $4,759.
That's an incredible saving. What percentage is that?
Good question, but I'll come back to you on that.
Oh, sorry. But it's saving a hell of a lot of money.
Oh, it's about 80%.
Right.
So, and if you want to have a balcony, and yes, I love a balcony, $25,942, this would set you back normally. But at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $9.
Wow, that's very good.
It is. Look, they're incredible value. And okay, now I can tell you the percentages. So 79% off for your brochure room, 79 off for the Ocean View room, and 78 off in the inside room. So they're really good value when you consider that you've got your beverage package in there as well.
Yeah, because there's no adding extras on. I mean, if you go to the spa or something like that, that's going to cost you
a mortgage.
An arm, a leg. So why bother getting
you get
a
a massage. It's just going to cost you the cost of them.
But pretty much you could get on and off the ship without any more costs.
You can, and that's what you love about cruises that actually include drink prices and other additional benefits, which is really good. Now, another deal for you, and again, we're doing this out of Australia, so this is really cool. Celebrity Edge, again, we've been on the ship. I love Celebrity, and I love Celebrity Edge. I love how they have designed their ships, and I think they provide an exceptional customer service level as well. So this is a 9-day cruise departing on the 5th of January 2026, departing from Sydney. You're going to go down to Hobart, Kangaroo Island. That's an interesting place to go and have a look at.
Oh, you know what? I'm from South Australia, from Adelaide.
And you've never been, have you?
I've never been to Kangaroo Island, but I can tell you when my parents got married, they went to Kangaroo Island for their honeymoon.
Of course, because that would have been a really big honeymoon space, wouldn't it?
Well, I think it was their first time on a plane.
Did they fly down? They didn't get a boat?
Yeah. No, they flew there from Adelaide. They must have been up in the air for what?
10
half
minutes?
an hour? Yeah.
10 minutes. Okay, so then you return back to Adelaide, talking about Adelaide, and then to Melbourne, and then return on to Sydney. So a great 9-day cruise departing 5th of January 2026. Now, an inside room would normally set you back $5,052, but no, you won't pay that at 101 Cruise. It's $1,539. Now, I can tell you that's 70% off. It's great saving. A balcony room would normally set you back $7,036, but at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $2,095. That's a saving of $4,941. Now, listen, why not go a little bit up and splurge?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because I know you like that.
What's it going to cost
Well,
me?
it's going to cost you an extra $200 to go to a concierge room. Now, remember, concierge room means you board the ship a little bit earlier and you get a welcome lunch, and there's other benefits involved as well. Now, that would set you back $7,494, but we have it at 101 Cruise for $2,302 per person. That's a saving of over $5,000. And look, if you want to really take it up and splurge, why not try the Aqua Class? Now, with Aqua Class, you're going to get the extra specialty restaurant. That's a huge bonus. Every night and for lunch, dinner, breakfast, you can go to the Blue Restaurant, and then you also get access to the spa, the thermal lounge, which is very nice.
Right.
And we've seen it. It's a very nice area. Look, normally that would set you back $8,044, but 101, we have it on at $2,835 per person. That's a 65% saving and over $5,000.
How many days is this one?
That one's a 9 days.
9 days. That's a pretty good price for 9 days at sea.
It is. Now, remember, all of these prices are in US dollars. They are valid at the 7th of June, 2025. They are per person and subject to change. Coming up later in the episode, I have some great deals for you. I'm going to tease you. It's something to do with silver and sea.
Now the latest cruise and travel news.
Well, 81-year-old Diana Ross was announced the godmother of Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Star of the Seas, which will have its maiden cruise at the end of August from Port Canaveral in the US to the Western Caribbean that features visits to destinations in Mexico, the Bahamas and Honduras.
I just want to put it out there that if she's going to be on the first cruise, I want to be on there.
I'm coming up.
I know, Royal Caribbean.
I'm meant to have a Diana Ross song to play.
Oh, I could do it in drag for you. It's fabulous.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
The Grand Princess is set to take over Princess Cruises' year-round itineraries in Australia and the South Pacific, replacing the Crown Princess, which is currently based in Sydney. Now, the 1998 built vessel, this is the new one, as in the Grand Princess that's taking over. It was built in 1998. Will offer summer cruises out of Australia and New Zealand ports from 2027. At the time of its launch, back in 98, it was one of the largest and most expensive passenger ships ever built. However, as I keep saying, it was launched in 1998. What's that, 27 years ago or something? Now, Crown Princess, which we were actually on earlier this year for a couple of days from Brisbane to Sydney, was launched in 2006.
Don't say it.
And we were thinking, this is a bit old.
Yeah, but hey, look, have they refurbished the Grand?
Yeah, the Grand Princess was last refurbished in March 2019. I'm not sure when Crown Princess was. I didn't look it up. But the refurbishment included upgrades to several areas, including the Piazza Atrium, casino, boutiques, art gallery, Horizon Court Buffet, Lotus Spa, and most importantly, the bloody wedding chapel. Like, who cares? I mean,
well,
look,
it's a love boat, so they've got to have a wedding chapel.
is it?
Yeah, it's
I
Captain
meant
Stubing.
I meant, is it? Oh, I don't know. It feels like they're taking the piss a bit with Australia by, giving us an even older ship. But anyway, that's the way it is.
Look, it's been refurbished. It most really looks gorgeous inside. We'll have to go on and have a look.
All I'm hearing is blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going. You go.
Okay.
Aurora Expeditions has unveiled its Arctic and Beyond 2027 season featuring 25 voyages. The company said the departures range from 8 to 16 days aboard the Greg Mortimer and Sylvia Earle. And the new season will offer guests small ship adventures in Greenland, the Northwest Passage, Scotland, Iceland, Norway, the Faroe Islands. Is that
Yeah. Oh,
Faroe
don't ask me.
Islands, Costa Rica, and the Panama. Seeing that this is the Cruise and Travel podcast, we also wanted to let you know about some other things happening in the travel industry. So, from this week, Qantas frequent flyers are going to be able to use their Qantas points to snare a seat on Hawaiian Airlines at low classic reward rates.
Now, that's really good.
That's right. Hawaiian have jumped ship from Virgin Australia.
Yay.
While Hawaiian Airlines is expected to join the One World Alliance in 2026, Qantas is rolling out this bespoke alliance in advance in the same way as it has for Oman Air, which joins One World on the 30th of June this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
based
cool.
on the current partner classic reward rates for, say, Sydney to Honolulu, you'll be looking at 37,800 Qantas points for an economy flight and 90,000 Qantas points for a business class flight.
That's pretty
from
good.
Sydney to Hawaii.
Okay, when are we going?
Yeah, well, it's not a bad deal, is it?
No, I like it.
I'm not sure what the Hawaiian Airlines planes are like.
No, they're pretty good. They've got a pretty young fleet, to be honest. And look, their business class is very nice. I've had a look at it.
Good.
It's smart.
Okay. And not that we're biased on Qantas, but another story out of Qantas land this week. They're going jumbo on their busiest Asian route. From mid-June to early August, the airline will operate up to 2 daily Airbus A380 flights out of Sydney to Singapore, swapping out a leased A330 and more than double.
I like the 330.
Well, at least it's got two
Only if I'm in
aisles.
business.
Yeah, well, that's right. And what it's going to do, though, is more than double their premium seating capacity. That's good news for airline staff because they might have a chance at getting
Seeing it.
upgrades.
What is that?
Yeah. The second daily Super Jumbo, which will be QF 81 and 82, joins the existing QF1 and QF2 service and flies 6 times a week with departures from Sydney at 10:20 a.m. and returns from Changi at 8:45 p.m. It's a big summer play from the Flying Kangaroo, filling the void left by a shortened wet lease deal with Finnair and targeting high demand for both transit and point-to-point flyers.
So, look, you said, what was it, from mid-June to early August?
Well, it's not that long,
is
no,
it? No, because we've got holidays in September.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
Yeah. Now, Smart Traveller updated its advice telling holidaymakers visiting, can you believe it, the Maldives, to avoid areas impacted by demonstrations and to exercise a high degree of caution. Now, about 35,000 Aussies head there each year if they can afford it. But if you are one of them, here's the lowdown. The resort islands are actually considered generally peaceful and secure. The protests and demonstrations could occur in the greater Malay area and
Places you can't live in.
Islands that don't have anybody on them, or non-resort islands. So just be wary when you arrive in Malay on transit to your island paradise.
But Malay's always been a bit like that, to be honest.
Oh, there you go.
It's always been a bit.
Okay, so
Unrest.
Smart Traveller, no change. All right, and finally, Singapore Airlines will pay its employees a bonus equivalent to 7.45 months, 7.5 months' salary, following a very strong financial performance for the fiscal year. The airline reported a full-year net income of 2.78 billion Singaporean dollars, surpassing analysts' expectations. The bonus is part of a profit-sharing scheme that reflects the company's robust recovery and continued growth in the post-pandemic travel surge.
That is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you look at it, what was it, 7.45 months of salary.
Yeah.
That's really generous. I've got to say, Singapore, this isn't the first time they've done it.
No,
they
I
did it
reckon they
last
did it
year,
last
and I
year.
think the year before that as well.
It's part of their mantra now. They do it every year.
And I think, that it really rewards the staff who work really hard. And I think, good on you. I think a lot of airlines, especially some of our Australian ones, could learn a lot from that.
Which one in particular?
Oh, there's a few. Let's say there's not many out there, so have a think about it.
Rex. Well, they've gone under.
Well, that's gone.
They
Bonza.
probably did it.
Bonza mostly did it.
But I think last time I remember the Qantas results coming out that they made more than $2.7 billion.
Yeah, I think they did. And they're mostly on target for something similar this year. So look, let's see and hope that they might see this and think, wow, that's a really great way to reward their staff.
Special shout out today to Vanessa if she's
Hello,
listening
Vanessa.
in.
How are you? I'm sure she is. She
Love your
loves
work.
it. And
Love
can
the
I
way
just
you're
say,
turning the airline around, and this would
Yeah,
be a
you
great
are.
way to lift the staff spirits.
it will. And can I just say to all my lovely Qantas crew, please don't think about going across to Singapore. Stay with us. We love you.
Okay, well, it's time to have a look at this week's episode topic, which is how to make your embarkation day a breeze. Oh,
Yay, you got it right.
at last.
Look, it is. And look, it can be a really stressful day for people because they get a little bit twitchy because they're going on this big cruise that's cost them a lot of money to go on. But these things will just make it a little bit easier for you. So when you wake up on the day of departure in your departure city. Now, does that sound silly? But because a lot of people try and fly in on the day that they're going to cruise out.
Don't do that.
No, because like just say we live in Perth, okay? So we have to get our way to Sydney most of the times to get some cruises. But you're running a huge risk, even though the ship may depart at 6:45 at night, and you think, I've got all day to get there, and if I book myself on the first flight out of the day, but if that goes unserviceable or has been cancelled, you've got to then wait till there's a seat on the next available flight to get you across. And if it's during school holidays, good luck with that.
Yeah, treat yourself by having a night in the city that you're leaving from and get there early so that there's no stress the next day.
Totally. Go and, book a hotel near the port. And this is another thing that's actually an interesting one because check out where your port is in the city that you're departing from because not all the ports are like Sydney where it's right in the heart. It might be an hour drive away that you need to get to.
I mean, look, Perth is the perfect example. You don't arrive in Perth, folks. You arrive in Fremantle, of all places.
Freo, mate. Well, and for those people who have never been to Perth before, Freo is like a 30-minute drive, so it's not like the end of the
It's
earth.
the longest drive in the
we've got
history of drives.
We've got a ferry that goes down there and a train. There's buses. It's fabulous. No, Perth is great. We just need the state government of Western Australia to actually rebuild it and make a nice port to attract more
like the
cruise ships.
Hobart terminal, which is
wow.
located in the city. Not that we want the
Well,
Perth
they
one
can't
in
do that in the city because they can't make it up the river.
No, to get
So it's
bogged.
always going to be a Freo. Yeah, we'll get grounded. But yes, we do need to get something nice like Hobart.
But yes, so stay relatively near your port.
Yeah,
Keep
just-
in mind how long it's going to take to get
Yeah,
there.
because again, you don't want the car to break down, all those sort of problems as well. Arrive at your cruise terminal at the time that you've been assigned. Now, sounds, again, sensible, doesn't it? They give you a time, turn up at the right time, don't turn early. Imagine if you're on a cruise ship that has 5,000 people on it and everyone turned up early or at the same time. It would be absolute chaos.
And a couple of times in cruises, we've
Yes.
sort of lobbed there and it feels like everybody is getting on at the same time. So it is great when they allocate you times. It's like the new way that they load aeroplanes as
Absolutely.
in section by section and it just means that
It's orderly and it has a timing effect. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be weighted. They've really done this research behind this to make sure that you have a great experience when you go through. So it's nice and easy. So you're not there with thousands of other people.
And we embarked from Sydney earlier this year and it was such a smooth process. There weren't heaps of people.
No.
And
Brisbane was the same. I have to
Yeah.
say Brisbane nailed it.
Yeah.
Although their gangways, wow, they were long walks.
Yeah,
but it was really well done. Well done, the Australian ports. So you're doing a good job. Also, when you arrive at the terminal, keep all your key documents close to you. So many times people go up to check in and they go, "Oh, have you got your passport?" That's the first thing they're going to always ask you for, or
did
your
I need
ID.
my passport?
And then they're fluffing around. Oh, I put it in my suitcase that you took down below. So just have those sort of things with you. It will make it a lot easier. Now, this is a bit of a healthy thing or a health and safety. Eat breakfast before heading to the port. Hey, Rolf, how you going?
You know this isn't television, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but you might hear someone panting and it's not me and it's not Steve. Do you want to talk to us?
No, he's
No, you
all right.
don't. Just sit down
Just
there.
sit.
You just want to find out how to eat breakfast. That's what you heard. Have brekkie before you leave your hotel. No one likes a hangry person when they're checking in.
No.
So have something. Grab a coffee. Now, remember, most of the ports may not have cafes, may not have coffee available. They may just have vending machines. So make sure that you've got something in your tummy so when you're waiting, you're not going to get hangry. Hold on to your carry-on baggage, but not your suitcases. So when you check in at ground level, they'll always have concierge people to take your baggage away, which is great. So hand over your suitcase to them. Don't try and drag it on because then you're going to have to take it all through the ship with you, and your rooms are generally not available when you get on. So it becomes more of a hassle and annoyance to other people because people are sort of like tripping over them when they're in the corridor.
But
So
what you could do, if you wanted to, we haven't done this, but it just occurred to me then, if you wanted to take your bags through with you, like your larger bag, you could actually go to your room once it's there and leave it outside because that's what they do with them.
You could. However, and I'm going to talk about this, or maybe I won't now, just remember those housekeeping staff who I think are absolute legends because the ship gets into port, say, around 6:30 and then most of the passengers are disembarked by 8:39 to get off. They've got 4 hours to actually turn around all of those rooms
Every
and make it look like no one else has ever slept in that room. And it's quite amazing. And I think they are absolute legends and we need to give them that space and that time to do it. So look, check your bag in.
It's easy.
Say goodbye to it.
Yep.
It will be there when you come back or when you get to your room. Most of the times they're out the front.
They send you luggage tags that you can print out at home before you leave, or if you're at the hotel, we've even asked the reception to print them out for us, and you just cut them with some scissors and
Fold them up and
put them
follow
on
the
your bag.
directions. But look, that's a really good and a really important thing that you brought up, Steve, because make sure your luggage tags are really secure because your bags are all going to get stacked on top of it in the trolleys and then they go through the corridors and if it's not stuck on there properly, it's going to fall off.
So staple them on. Ask the reception for a staple gun and
but don't do one staple.
no.
Do lots. And look, I read a really good article on this as well because they said carry a small tape of sellotape. And,
You don't need to.
No, you can't.
Ask hotel reception for their staple.
It's really clever. Let me get it out. So they actually got the tape and they put it around the handle of their and on the baggage tag, and there's no way it could fall off. I thought that was clever.
Then it takes 2 days to unravel and your handle's sticking.
Yeah, well, but then you're going to get your luggage and not be without it for a couple of days while they try and search out for it. Just another thing, just remember, if you have any medication, don't put it in your checked-in bag, your suitcase, just in case it does go missing. You've got everything you need, like your documentation and your medication to get you through for a couple of days.
So you have a carry-on bag with you. And another tip, if it's a really nice day, is have some bathers or something cooler than what you're wearing to the terminal that you can change into once you're on the ship, and then you can just lay by the pool.
Yeah, great idea. Now, don't be late. Okay, don't think, going at 6:45, I get down there about 6 o'clock, I'll be okay. It's not going to happen. So, as we said, arrive at your arrival time. Don't be late. Give yourself lots of time with transport to make sure you're going to get down there, okay? Because if you miss that boat, it's going to sail goodbye to you and wave goodbye to you, and you're going to be standing on the dock, and then you're going to have to make your way to the next port that it goes into. So that's at your cost. That's airfares, accommodation, taxis, a whole lot. And you don't want to have that on your first day of a holiday. You want to be there and relax and chilled out. Now, the other thing is you will go through security at every port. And if you start to bring things on board that you shouldn't, they're going to take it off you. You won't see it again for the rest of the cruise. You will get it back. So just remember things like alcohol, heat-producing items like irons, kettles. Just remember on an aircraft, on any airline, they're very strict on what you can bring on dangerous goods because they can cause a fire on board. Cruise ships are even the same because if they have a fire, it will go through really quick and they try and avoid, at all costs, they avoid it.
Don't take your iron on a cruise. And don't take your iron ever on holiday anywhere.
Well, how do I get my linen shirts to look gorgeous? Don't take a linen shirt.
Hang it in the shower while
Put
you're
on
having a
resort
shower.
wear. All right. This is funny. When you get to the cruise ship, and look, these days this is changing a little bit. They take your photo for your ID, or you take your own photo before you get on and you send it to the cruise line. So just remember, take a nice photo, smile. If you take a really silly, funny photo, you're stuck with that. Now imagine if you're on a 114-day cruise from around the world. Hello, Rob and Wendy. They're going on one soon and very lucky. That is going to be with you for the whole trip. And every time you leave the ship and go through security, on a big screen, your face pops up and everyone will see it. And when you get back on it, it'll do exactly the same. So have a nice photo. For your first night on the cruise, try and book your restaurants in so you know what you're doing, because if you don't, it's first night, you're going to turn up and everything's booked out. And this will happen. I would recommend booking in a few nights in a row so you know what you're doing. Check out your entertainment guide. As I said, like most of the cruise lines actually have an app now and you can see all the information, what's coming up, what entertainment, what time for each day along on your cruise. So that helps you actually book in your restaurants so you can work around it. Now, if you do go to the restaurants and you're running a little bit late and you want to go to the show, just mention it to your wait staff, who are generally spectacular, and they will try and get you out quickly so you can get and enjoy all of the shows that are on. And this seems like it's so basic, but I've got to say it. Watch the safety demo about the ship. All I have to do is say one word to you: Titanic. It's never going to happen. And this is what everyone says. It never happens. They're the safest things in the world. Yes, they are. However, you need to know where your evacuation muster point is, and you need to know how to put a life jacket on. And every life jacket's different. They're not like the ones on board the aircraft. So watch it. It'll take you 5, maybe 10 minutes, but at least you're going to be very well educated. If something, which is a worst case scenario, happens, at least you know what you're going to do. Hey, this is an interesting one. We've talked about this before. When you go on a cruise, switch your phone over to airplane mode. Now, why would you think you need to do that? Because you're going to go across into different countries all the time. Now, you're not going to get, once you're out in the middle of the ocean, you're not going to get a frequency unless you've got a satellite phone. So put it on airplane mode. When you get into port, take it off. You'll get all your messages. It's a bit like White Lotus, really, where they took the last season 3, where at the resort, they took all the phones off everyone so that they got a really nice resort feeling. But look, you still get Wi-Fi on there, so you can utilize everything on your phone. It's just going to avoid additional international roaming charges. What to do when you get on board? Once you're on board, you want to go out there and explore. Have a look at the facilities around, chill out, have a look. But every time I've got on it, they've said to you, lunch is being served up in the buffet, and every man and their dog are up in the buffet, and it's crazy. You can never get a table. There's just people around, and I don't find it the most inviting way to start my cruise. So if you want to have a little more relaxed, find somewhere else. One of the cafes, a bar, some of them serve some finger food. The cafe does. Oh, I know. But you love a buffet, don't you?
That's what I think about the buffet.
Oh, yeah. I won't ask you what you normally call them. And then after that, go and chill out, find some nice little space and enjoy the beginning of your ship cruise. But the big thing to do, don't ever miss out on the sail away parties. They're always great. I know the very first cruise we did with our friends Shannon and Luke, they said we have to go up for the sail away party, and went, what's that? And it's just a gathering on the deck. There's lots of drinks. I know that with Seaboard, they do generally an Aperol spritz, and after about 6 of those, the party really gets going. But it's gorgeous way you get to cruise out. If you're out of Sydney, it's spectacular look at. Out of Venice, it's gorgeous as well. Go up there, have fun. They have a band. You'll meet lots of people. Great way to start your cruise.
Perfect. All right. Well, to finish off, you teased us with another cruise special.
Did you work it out?
Silversea.
Oh, you go to the top of the class. All right. Listen, these we know about Silverseas. They're a very luxury liner, small, around 600 or more. Depends on which ship you jump on. So we're looking at 2 of them. Now, these are Australian-based cruises. So I love trying to promote anything to do with Australia because obviously we're Australian based in Perth. So Silver Seas, Silver Moon. That's a 19-day cruise from Melbourne to Singapore. A really cool one. Now, it goes everywhere. I'm only going to mention a couple of places like Kangaroo Island, Adelaide. It goes to Albany. Hello, Western Australia. Bustleton. Yes, there is another port. Fremantle. Then you're going up to Bali and you go on to Singapore. So a few sea days in this trip, which is cool as well. Look, it's not a cheap cruise, but what you get with Silver Seas is a lot. So all your beverages are included. It also includes a mini bar in your room, which is nice. It includes your Wi-Fi. It includes all your gratuities, so you're not paying any of those gratuities on board. And also it's a butler service. So it's very special and it's a beautiful way to cruise. So they do it well. Now, this cruise would normally cost, it's our brochure price in US dollars, $32,400. Remember, it's 19 days.
Yeah.
And you can get it for $12,200. Now, that is a saving of a whopping $20,000 US dollars per person, or 62% off. Now, it's departing on the 4th of February. It's a very, very cool cruise. So now this is the second part of my deals. If you want to just go from Melbourne and get off in Fremantle, the best city in Perth, that's funny, the best city in Western Australia. So that would normally set you back $11,200 US dollars, but at 101 Cruise, we've got it on at $5,600 US.
Okay. For what sort of room?
No, that's a balcony room.
Balcony room.
So
Okay.
it's a really good deal.
So if you want to go from Melbourne right the way through to Bali and Singapore, it's how much?
That was $12,200.
For how many days?
That is 19 days.
Okay. And if you just want to do Melbourne and finish at
In
Perth?
Perth at Freo, it's a 10-night cruise and $5,600. Now, remember, it's Silver Seas. Everything's included. Okay, so it's a really good deal. Now, all these prices were valid at the 7th of June. All prices are in US dollars per person and are subject to change.
Well, remember, you can get access to all the deals by signing up to our newsletter at 101cruise.com.au. Once you've signed up and you've got access inside the website, there are heaps of articles in the 101 Cruise magazine section, like if you are having your first cruise, a beginner's guide to picking a cruise line. Plus, we'll upload a story containing all the info Paul talked about today on easing your embarkation day stress. And by the way, don't think about travelling anywhere these days without travel insurance, regardless of whether it's a cruise you've booked through us or through any travel agent. For any travel that you are planning, whether it's a cruise or not, you can always buy travel insurance through our website. We get the best deals through NIB Travel Insurance, but you've got to follow the links from our website to get the 101 Cruise discount. I can tell you from experience, you will find it hard to beat the rates we can get for you. Compare us with any other travel insurance provider and you'll see for yourself. Plus, if you're an NIB Health member, you can now get a further 15% discount.
Now, funny you're talking about travel insurance, Steve. Next episode, we're going to talk travel insurance. I think this is going to be a really interesting chat for everyone because it's a little bit confusing what is out there and what's allowed. And so we're going to get a travel insurance expert to come on the show and we're going to fire up lots of questions at us. So that will be great.
Look forward to it.
For more, go to 101cruise.com.au and sign up for the newsletter and to get access to the site. You can also follow us on Facebook at 101 Cruise and on Instagram at 101 Cruises.